You're welcome.
I'm on the wrong floor. Help me through.
I'll be following you.
We do Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dr. Freeman's going to say a few words.
Bow our heads in prayer. Dear God, we're grateful and we recognize that freedom is not free. We thank you for a strong military and police force. We thank you for an effective government. We thank you for people to speak through the government. We ask for wisdom for our leaders to make the right decisions, to have wise minds, merciful, compassionate, understanding hearts, and may we render justice such that we treat others like we'd want to be treated. God bless the village of Walton. God bless the USA. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. At this time, I'm going to turn everything over to Chief DiDazio.
Thank you, sir. I would just like to made a little statement I just would like to read to the board and to members that are here from the community. On October 10, 2018, approximately 11:23 p.m., Officers Fred Babcock and Logan Wood responded to a 911 call for a structure fire at 34 Griswold Street in the village of Walton. They arrived in separate vehicles less than a minute after the call had been placed. They encountered a very upset young lady stating that her father was still inside the residence. Both officers, without regard to their own safety, entered the building while a thick black smoke was overtaking the whole structure. The officers located a conscious but non-responsive, non-mobile adult male slumped against the wall at the end of his bed that the bed was currently on fire. Officer Woods scooped up the male and followed Officer Babcock back outside. Once outside, Officer Wood placed the male directly into his patrol car and directly transported him to Delaware Valley Hospital for immediate treatment, as it was obvious they had been overtaken by smoke. Officer Babcock re-entered the building to retrieve the oxygen tanks that he had seen near the fire. Officer Babcock retrieved the oxygen tanks and brought them outside. He then utilized his patrol vehicle fire extinguisher and re-entered the building to continue to search for more occupants, as it was now believed that one of the children may be unaccounted for. Officer Babcock again searched the house and found that it was clear of all persons and began assisting in extinguishing the fire. The Walton Fire Department arrived shortly thereafter and finished extinguishing the fire. Both officers' actions since clearly go beyond their regular scope of duties. They are not trained in firefighting, nor do they have the proper equipment to enter such an environment they encountered that night. It is because of these selfless actions that everyone was safely evacuated and only a small section of the house was damaged by the fire. The officer's quick response undoubtedly saved the male inside the house, but also further damage to the structure or the surrounding houses. It could easily become combustible. Both officers' actions are not short of heroic and should be recognized by the community. I'm very proud to work with these officers. So I do have a couple things.
Freddie?
Yeah. So Fred, can you come up here, please? On behalf of the Village of Walton, thank you for your duties that night. Thank you.
Good job.
Officer Logan Wood. Again, Officer Wood, thank you on behalf of the Village of Walton for your duties that night. We really appreciate your service.
Appreciate it.
Chief?
Yep, that's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
I think somebody's got at least a cell phone to take a picture. Better get a picture of you guys up there all together. Pardon me?
I just got a video camera, that's all. I mean, I can take pictures with it.
Okay, you want to do a still picture with
Certainly, if you guys
the three of them up there?
Yeah.
Let's hear it for the chief.
I'm going to take over here.
Oh, that's fine.
Getting them up.
Yeah.
That's like an Oreo cookie right there.
I'm good.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, man. Thank you.
All right. Now we're going to go to the public hearing on local law 19-4 CCA. Anybody have any input on that?
You have to open the public hearing on your
Okay,
motion.
open the public hearing. Can I have a motion for that? Who wants to make a motion?
Make the motion.
Second.
Motion made second, open up the public hearing. Anybody got any input about us doing this? Okay, there's nobody here that wants to put any input on that?
So we can have a motion to close it?
Have a motion to close it?
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion made second to close it. What is next, Jody?
If somebody wants to
Make a motion?
make a motion to pass the local law so that we could do the feasibility study or put this at least on the books and whatever. That's up to you
Anytime in
guys.
the near future, we can go ahead and do it, so.
Right. I guess
Move we-
before,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I would just say before we make any motions that I received a letter from our state senator who said that the enabling legislation does not commit you to initiate a CCA, but rather positions you to participate in a program if you so choose. So it opens the process up to do a survey, will this benefit the community? So to have an endorsement in this small way gives me reassurance that, we're not committing everyone to do it, or to be enrolled. It's to survey what is possible.
That's just the first step.
Right, correct. So I just wanted to make that statement.
Move we do the feasibility study.
Okay, motion to do that. Any seconds?
Second.
Motion made second to do feasibility study from the, I can't remember the full name of it.
It's here somewhere.
Yeah. You got the full name of it?
Community Choice Aggregation Program.
Yeah. Okay. All in favor?
All right?
Aye.
Can't hurt to
Opposed?
look. Aye.
Pardon me?
Can't hurt to look.
That's right.
Aye.
Carried. Anything else after that? That's all closed and done. Okay,
Thank you.
we'll do the public input now. Do you want public input?
On that situation?
Nope.
Nope, just, no. This is open public input. Anything that you want to bring up to the board.
We're here tonight just to kind of get some clarification on,
Oh, that's right, I'm sorry. You got to announce your name and
oh,
where
I'm
you at,
sorry.
where you're from.
Cheryl Butler, Walton, New York, 68 West Street, Walton, New York.
Jason Butler.
Thank you.
We're looking at a sewer bill that we had installed, and we're just looking for some clarity into the charges, the costs, why there are the costs that there are on
Do you want to
our-
come and look at this thing that you guys signed before the project was done?
I have a copy of it.
Okay.
That's why you were charged that.
That's the bill for doing that job. To have you hooked into the sewer system?
But how it was is, for 6 years, we lived there, and we were charged sewer, but we had a septic, and we never used it for 6 years, but we were charged $80-some for 6 years or $70-some every period.
But you have water there, right?
We have water, yes.
That's all part of the charge.
Right, we used the water, but we never
It's
were
all,
connected,
it's all
so-
part of the surcharge. It goes along with the water also.
Right, I mean, to bill $1,500 to put in 2 pieces of pipe just seemed,
But you did,
But you
Signed the-
signed it, you agreed that you would pay that when, back in
in June.
June.
Yeah.
In the end of June.
Yeah, before your house was installed, or maybe when it was installed, right around that time.
our understanding was G&I Homes was gonna do it, but paid for that, and then we found out that they're not, so that's why,
Okay, but the work was done, you're hooked up, and the bill has to be paid,
right?
Okay.
okay? I mean,
I was just looking
Yep.
for some clarity into,
that's,
Why
yeah.
it was
As to
so
why it
expensive. I mean,
was-
It was 2 tons of asphalt for a 6 by 18 foot.
Yeah, but it's all,
Two.
it's all part of the hookup, though. I mean, they had to dig everything, they had to dig the street up and stuff. I mean, everything was explained as to what it was gonna cost.
You had each piece of equipment, each guy, you gotta go with it by their rate of pay,
Right.
which includes their hourly rate, the benefit package, the
But
whole nine
none
yards.
of that's included in our taxes, I take it?
No,
It's
It's
in the
not,
code.
But 6 by 18 is 2 tons?
just to explain, those fees are not a tax. That's a fee for service. It's actually something that we don't tax you for. You just pay for that.
okay.
but it is not a tax, it is a fee.
Okay, and
That
that's
would-
fine, we just wanted to make sure that,
Anybody that would have been hooked up like that would have been a flat fee. It's not part of your tax or anything, it's a fee for having the service done.
Right. I just didn't see where the 2 ton of asphalt for a 6 by 18 foot.
Well, you can't just consider that, we don't for all the,
Well, I
just
mean,
the
I see
asphalt
how
of
it's
everything.
stretched all the way out for when they're gonna pave in the
Yeah.
spring, but.
Okay,
so can we stop down and make the payment tomorrow without being shut off?
can be done in the morning, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, in the morning, correct.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else got anything on public input? Okay. We will close that part and we'll go to abstracts. Everybody had a chance to look at the abstracts? And invoices?
Yeah, everybody was here, so.
I move that we pay our bills.
I second that we pay our bills.
Okay, motion made second to pay the abstracts. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Department heads.
Jason's not here.
Yep, Jason's not here, so I asked him, he said nothing going on with Cedarwood. Steve Dutcher, we got his report, everybody's had a chance to look at that. Okay. Now, the next one is Chief Tadazio.
So I think Rich emailed everybody the reports, right? Just a couple things real quick this month. As you can probably see there on unlawful fleeing police officer we had over last weekend. Officer Doyle tried to make a traffic stop. The guy ended up running on him as he was halfway in the vehicle. Ended up getting him stopped outside the village and into custody, and no problems after that. Nobody got hurt. But it was pretty serious. In case anybody saw it and was wondering, that's what it was. It was started out as a 941 call, then it ended up being something else. And regardless, he didn't want to be taken into custody. So that was one of the things. We had I think, pretty much uneventful Halloween, from what I understand. The kids were out, regardless of the rain. I guess it was warm enough, so they were out. And I believe they really picked up after themselves this year. We didn't find a lot of shaving cream cans that were on the sides of the roads, and it seemed like they all had a good time. We did get some fireworks there at the end, and we told them that they needed to go home. So, and everybody acted accordingly. So it was a good Halloween. Then the next night we did our own trick or treating, if you want to call it that. So got a little thing I'm going to be releasing later on to the press. But on November 1st, 2019, at approximately 6:30 p.m., the Village of Walton Police Department Drug Enforcement Unit, accompanied with other members of the Walton Police Department, executed a no-knock search warrant at 14 Howell Street, Apartment 4, in the Village of Walton. Drug Enforcement Unit has been investigating the transportation and distribution of methamphetamine of Jeffrey Brooker, age 59, at the residence for several months. As a result of this investigation, the Walton Police Department seized approximately 5.26 grams of methamphetamine that were packaged for sale. Buprenorphine, sublingual strips, hypodermic needles, packaging materials, cell phones, and scales used to weigh illicit drugs. And also recovered $310 of U.S. currency. Mr. Brooker has been charged with criminal possession of controlled substance 3rd degree. That's a B felony. And criminal possession of controlled substance 7th degree. It's a Class A misdemeanor. So the case is ongoing, and there's more charges pending, more arrests pending at this time. But I just want to let you guys know, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank the community support as well, your guys' support in letting us, fund this kind of activity. Assisting us in putting a dent in the transportation of the distribution of narcotics in our community. Mr. Brooker has been selling methamphetamine for his apartment located very close to our police department, and although it is unfortunate that these investigations do take time, the actions don't go unnoticed. I'm very proud of the members of the police department as they make personal sacrifices to ensure that this community is safe. I'd also like to take the opportunity to advise the other dealers that have decided that we're not going to do anything here and set up shop, that I would really recommend they get out of the village or out of the county and go somewhere else and deal their drugs. Or we'll be knocking at their door soon. So
That's right.
Or no knocking.
Yeah, no knocking. Well, we gave one chance, just, but that went well also, very well planned. Again, very professional. It was quick. It was done less than 5 minutes. Everybody was wrapped up. He was the only one at the residence at the time, but I believe he's being held, if I'm not mistaken, on $100,000.
100,000 to 100,000.
Okay, $100,000 cash bail, $200,000 bond right now. So that's a significant bail order. So. Yeah, the guys did a great job, as always, and you guys can expect to see this kind of stuff more often.
Yep. It's good to send a message.
Yeah.
And we're proud of that.
Thank you, we appreciate
Very much
that.
so.
Yep.
Thank you.
And really, I think that's all I got.
Okay. Thank you, Chief.
All right.
Nobody else had anything, right?
No?
No? Okay.
Thank you.
Bill Brown.
Couple things to touch base on quick. At the wastewater treatment plant, we had submitted a funding application earlier this summer. And we have a letter of support drafted to forward to our elected officials to try to help push that through. One thing we do have to ask for is a replacement of the flow meter in the CBUD building. There's an existing flow meter in the CBUD building that isn't working right. It's off by several hundred gallons a minute, and that's used to control other parts and pieces of the plant.
Flow pacing.
Yeah, exactly, chem feed equipment. So we would like to, that piece of equipment has to be there. It can be rebuilt, but it has to be taken off-site to be rebuilt, and it would take a couple of weeks, and we have a couple hours, to do that work. So we are looking to replace that piece of equipment as well as some of the piping that it's connected to. We obtained 3 quotes. S&H Mechanical of Cincinnatus was the low quote, or provided the low quote in the amount of $18,200 for replacement of the CBUD meter and piping. It is a 100% New York City cost, and S&H has done several projects down there, including in the CBUD building. So we have a good sense that they would do good work. So we would request that the village board authorize the clerk to issue a PO to get that underway.
Okay. I can make a motion.
I make it.
Second?
Second.
Motion made, seconded for the clerk to go ahead and do a purchase order for $18,200 for S&H Mechanical Cincinnati. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
100% New York City, that's...
Yeah,
You had been
yeah.
100% New York City.
That's my confident motion.
Why you're so quick?
The next couple are just updates on kind of ongoing projects. Shepherd Street has been started this year. We can do the draw on that if we haven't already.
I think didn't we do that last month?
No,
Some of it.
by time with this last approval of the abstract, I'll have enough to do the whole thing, and I'm
So we
going
can
to
do it in one shot, yeah, and
Okay.
that makes sense. We will probably have to get a DEC permit for the storm drain connection down to Westbrook, working on the brook bank, so
Right.
we'll work with Butch and get the paperwork together for that. Just an update on the water system, again, applied for some funding earlier this year, and hopefully good news in December. The other item, I guess, the bigger item to ask for, the Third Brook Bridge, actually a Third Brook culvert at Delaware Street. It's been a project on the radar of the Flood Commission for 10 plus years. DOT owns that structure, maintains that structure. The Flood Commission, Walton as a whole, would like to see it replaced to better accommodate flood conditions. Currently, it's not on DOT's target list for replacement, so alternative funding is being sought out. CWC can potentially fund the project because it is recommended in the local flood assessment that was conducted by the Flood Commission over the last several years. So we've reached out to DOT. They're open to a locally sponsored project. And with it being in the village is more or less able to act as the applicant on behalf of moving the project forward. So the first phase would be to do the design for replacement of that structure, which likely means making it wider and opening up the angle a little bit. Right now, when water comes down Westbrook in front of the auction barn, has to make a sharp right turn, and any material, sediment, woody debris, trees, whatever else that may be in the water hits that wall and drops out, and then the wall overtops and runs down into Craft and all up and down the street. So it would be beneficial to change that. So seeking funding from CWC to do design for replacement of that structure. We prepared an application on behalf of the village for your consideration to do the engineering for that. The bulk of the work, with it being a DOT structure, we kind of deferred to another firm that we've worked with and the county's worked with, was Majeski and Masters. There are local offices out of the Poughkeepsie area, but they're kind of across the country.
But that's because they've worked with state DOT.
They're
and
right.
They know what they're engineering.
They speak DOT, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah. You know, we do a lot more water and sewer stuff, not so much of the DOT stuff. You know, we would propose to be a part of the project, but the bulk of it would be Majeski and Masters, and then also survey and soil borings, soil testing to find out what the conditions are prior to doing the design. So we would ask that the village board consider authorizing the mayor to sign that application to forward to CWC for their consideration, and it would be for design at this stage. Once designs are in place, that would be leveraged or used as a basis to seek funding for implementation for to replace the actual bridge. So this is really to get drawings put together for what the finished product would look like, and then that'll give us a better sense of what it's going to cost, and then that'll be the basis to go for funding through CWC or other entities to try to get it done.
Right, so funding down the road is unclear about where it's coming from.
At this stage, yeah. I mean, CWC is right now the primary potential because they can fund the work under their local flood hazard mitigation program. It's a big project for the village, for anybody. You know, it's going to be a multi-million-dollar project to replace that structure. Any funding agency would like another funding agency to fund it, or at least co-fund it. So that's why it's done initially just as a design and not seeking, you know, the full replacement cost, because we don't know exactly what that is yet. And you know, I think CWC wants to try to have some partners, if possible, in doing
So
that.
if they have the design, they can take it to these other partners and hopefully get some
And
more
back to
funding.
DOT, and is there, you know, can we put it on DOT's list because we're that much closer?
Right.
What's the approximate cost to the village to seek the design?
There's no
cost.
local share.
We just have to fill out an application to look for the funding to do the design.
Well, in that case.
I mean, and that's the basis for going to
It's
CWC.
the technicalities, you gotta,
It has to be a municipal applicant.
exactly, we have to be like the sponsor
Yeah.
type person.
The village has to do it.
Now, when the New York State DOT assumes ownership over something like that, do they have any, you know, incentive to provide us with some funding
No.
options?
And that's why it's going this way. We've been talking
Right.
about it with flood commissions, and they, because that is considered a box culvert,
Right.
and that is to their standard, okay, not realize, you know, what's above it. So that's why it wants to be changed to make it a bigger, more like a bridge span where more water can flow underneath it versus trying to go through that box culvert. And that's why we're
Right.
gonna go through this route and try to seek funding elsewhere and then present it to the state.
Got it.
So,
Well, I make the motion.
Second?
motion made second to approve us, or for me to sign the application for seeking funding to do design. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Get the paperwork put together. The rest are just a couple updates. The floodproofing studies we've talked about the last couple of months. We have two of the last four put together, and trying to get the last two wrapped up this week.
We had a conversation, Dick and I did, with a person that may be able to help do some funding on that 20%.
Oh, really?
Of
Yeah, I mean,
the-
I think that's a
a
huge
big
gap
thing. I
for
mean,
people.
You're talking 75% is gonna get picked up, but that 25% on some of that's
It's
a good chunk of
hit.
change.
Right.
And the person that we talked with says it's possible that they could do this, so we're gonna talk some
match.
more with them to
Okay, that'd be great. 'Cause
see if they can take care of that 25%.
There's a couple of properties in the village that have, the potential to be flood-proofed, and, would like to see that happen.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
we
big
get
hit.
around to where we can talk to those people and see what we can do with it.
Okay. And I don't have anything formal on the highway garage, but, we continue to look for options there.
Okay?
That's all I have to ask for. That's probably enough.
More than enough, and that's good.
No anonymous benefactors or anything?
No, I haven't found them yet. We're trying.
All right, Bill, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Smith? See you.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. I didn't get a chance to look at the very last. Are you chasing away anything?
No, I'm sick of chasing things. Everybody got the report?
Yeah.
Any questions? Actually fairly quiet, just trying to get things wrapped up before winter time.
You never say that.
Right.
You never say it's quiet.
Right.
Never.
We got our water, all of our hydrants flushed, no issues there.
Oh, thank you for the wonderful and amazing work trying to clear electric wires and trees and not get people killed and save people's lives, and that was a lot of work.
Yeah, there's some tree up there, that's for sure. Broke some stuff on St. John Street.
Yeah.
Everything that the village DPW does behind the scenes, no one's aware of it.
That's right.
So take kudos for it.
Thank you, I'll tell the guys.
Yes.
A lot of people came up to watch you.
Yeah, yeah.
There's always spectators,
And of course, at the
diehard.
same time we had that going on, we also had sewer issue going on.
Storm sewer.
Yep,
Yeah, I saw some
No, it
good
wasn't
pictures.
storm sewer. It was regular sewer.
regular
Yeah,
sewer.
Regular
Yeah.
sewer. Yeah, it had to be jetted.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we had a plug just above your house.
You missed something?
It was above your house, wasn't it?
So maybe you, never
Well, the
mind.
toilet kept plugging up, I don't know.
But unrelated to the storm stuff, it was just another thing to add to the excitement, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep, so we had kind of some guys there, some guys there. I was over there. So we're spread a little thin there on Friday.
All at once.
Yes, all at the same time. So I think that's pretty much it. Next month, more winter preparation, hopefully finish up leaf pickup. The frost we just had really put a big dent in that. They've knocked a lot of them off, so
Oh, yeah.
hopefully we can wrap that up. That's pretty much it. We did get a letter from residents up on Upper Delaware Street regarding their sidewalk.
Alright, what do we do with it?
It's right here. It's right there.
There it is. You saw it, did you?
Is this gonna require a field trip?
It may, if you want to. Yeah. Basically, what's going on up there is they have sidewalk there in a corner lot. Sidewalk in front of their house on New Street is bluestone and it's shot. The neighbor across the road has already removed their bluestone. The neighbor above him's already removed their bluestone. And before they removed all of that, the sidewalk on both sides of that street never went over to Ogden Street, so they never connected to anywhere. So, as far as them wanting to remove it, I don't see an issue with it, but obviously it has to be a board
I
deal.
don't see them having a problem. I mean, right now, reading the letter and knowing them up there, that right now they're having a tough time just trying to keep them clean.
Right.
Because they're broken,
Yeah.
so.
And we just have to keep in mind that, we end up having more people, more and more want to rip up their sidewalks. We just gotta be selective on which ones we, but up there, like I said, they don't even go anywhere. They end at somebody else's house and that's it.
And on that end of the, or that side of the street, there's no
Yeah.
foot traffic
There's no
anyway.
foot
It's not like
traffic.
on the other side where there's foot traffic
Right.
going up to the apartments. So,
Yep, so.
I wasn't clear on, are they wanting us to do it?
It says they want us to give them some materials to work with, but
Having the old sidewalk removed.
Right.
To me, I wasn't sure if they were asking for us to be doing it or.
Yeah, I don't know, I'd have to talk to them.
Okay.
yeah, if they're gonna do it themselves, I'm all, if they wanna remove them.
Yep.
I don't know if we have any topsoil to send up there if they need to. If not, I don't know if we do or
Yeah, if
not.
we do or not, I have to go check. That's usually a hot item.
So,
My recommendation would be if they want to take care of it themselves, then go ahead. I don't know what the rest of the board feels about it.
I have no problem with it.
I don't know, need a motion on that, do we? And have a motion then to have them do their own work if they want to remove their sidewalk?
Yeah, if they want to do their own, I'd make a
Should we
motion.
clarify with them if that's what they're asking for, though?
I'll ask and see what they're saying. The only thing it might get us is I know the ones on the other side of the street, I think we removed it all. I think. So I can check into that and I will call
Well,
this
Griffin,
lady.
he just took his own out. He did that all on his own, right?
He asked for it.
Yeah, he asked to do
He has
it,
to
yeah.
stick them out, and he had the equipment to
Yeah,
do it.
he had the equipment.
So,
Yep.
So it's his time.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
but the only thing we offer on sidewalks is we'll furnish cement, right?
Right. Yep.
So, yeah, it's up to them on the sidewalk.
Yep.
so,
So was Dick making a motion?
I was.
Okay, and what did you want me to,
That they're free to take it up on their own.
okay.
Second.
No cost to the village.
motion made and seconded to have them take up the sidewalk if they want on their own. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Let them know.
Okay, I'll make contact with them tomorrow.
Okay.
And that is pretty much it for me.
That's it for you, Butch? All right.
All set.
Thanks, Mr. Smith.
You're welcome.
Trustees report.
Which way you going?
Nate?
Well, I was looking at a Love Our Parks initiative, something for the spring for the park to have a volunteer get together to paint benches and anything else that might need to be done, but that'll be in the spring. As far as the theater goes, the theater board would like to see about getting the village to authorize the WTPA to sell some of the old wooden seats from the balcony. The proceeds would go to the WPTA. They want to give a set to the Historical Association. Seats can only be made up to sell if you have two good ends. Lots of labor. WTPA could make up 15 sets of seats to sell. Each set would have 1 to 4 chairs. One set needs to be screwed to the floor or placed on a 1-inch piece of plywood. Only some of the existing seats are usable. Some of them are just absolutely shot. They're going to save a row of the nicest ones that will be refurbished and put back in place on the refurbished balcony. Still getting quotes and writing grants for the balcony. Looks like the total cost will be approximately $75,000. Planning on removing old seats and getting floors sanded as soon as the Delaware River Stage Company show is over in December.
Okay. And they've been in contact with code enforcement to make sure everything's done properly.
As far as I know, they've been talking.
Okay, and then they'll bring everything to us before they
Yep,
move forward, so we can get their approval, our approval
Yep,
for them.
there'll be a final pitch
Okay.
to get the village approval.
So right now, Nate, all they're asking for is to be able to take the seats out?
Well, they're looking for approval to sell some of the old seats, and proceeds will go toward the balcony project.
Don't have to give them the seats?
Pardon me? They would have to give them to the theater preservation.
Yeah,
Well, we can-
they would have to have some plan for replacing them with something.
Well, there's going to be new seats.
And then we would, it'd be
They're going to keep one row of the old seats for a nostalgia and refurbish them, and the rest of the seats will be new.
I wish they would buy the building.
So does Jody.
Yeah.
But I think we have to show where they have the means and the funds to replace them first, before we can do anything.
Yeah.
I understand that, if they would want to sell them, that's fine, as long as they would be replacing them or something, but we'd have to have something to show that they have the means and the plans to replace,
Oh,
to make it usable.
they certainly have the means.
Yeah, but they don't have a plan yet.
The plan is still in the works.
Okay.
But have them, like I said, you just have them finalize the plan and then we'll go from there.
Yeah,
We can do that.
it's just
Yeah.
kind of where we're at now.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Kurt?
I'm just happy to see all the renovation, permits for renovation for homes in the community. Kind of lifting the sight of blight that we are so used to seeing. You know, I'm just happy to see that people investing in the community. And then also just to echo what Trustee Cian said about the work that the DPW does. I'm very proud, and we should be very thankful for what they do. Come hell or high water, they're there to figure it out. So just wanted to echo that.
Okay.
That's it.
On the tail end of that, I just wanted to add that that was an amazing transformation that Bob Vitti did of that house on Liberty Street. It was a condemned home, and now it's a state-of-the-art, beautiful place to live.
You have no idea how bad it was.
So shout out to Mr. Vitti.
There you go.
He did an excellent job.
Yep.
Now, code enforcement is after the neighbors to get them cleaned up too.
Yes.
Trying to improve the neighborhood.
Mr. Doig?
The only thing I was gonna bring up, and I would have to ask Jody, we do have to renew our contract for our electricians. Do we have to
Before
do
the
that?
end of the month,
Before the end of November?
yeah.
So we probably
But-
should approve it today.
We've got Good Energies looking into getting us quotes from other places. So when they get back to me, then I'll be able to forward that on to you, and we can see what's going to be a better rate.
Okay.
Okay, and then we
All right.
can, I mean,
Then we can,
But we do have to get that done before the
Yeah.
end of the
and I
month.
think we'll have to have a special meeting to approve that, right?
correct.
Okay. Anything else?
And that's how I know.
Okay. Steve?
The wastewater treatment plant is sublime.
Don't say that too loud either.
Well,
You didn't notice.
not without bruises.
Yeah.
We had a lot of lumps over the last week and a half.
Yeah, I know.
A lot.
Turbidity up and down, but the guys made it through, which is good. Excuse me. Anything else? Nothing. All right, to me, I've got just one thing I want to bring up, and that is, do we want to make a local law of no parking in the village lots without special permit? I mean, and when I say special permit, some of the bus trip people, when they go up above, they usually get a hold of us, but I mean, anybody who wants to stay on any of our lots overnight, that they would have to have a special permission to do so. Right now, it's not that way, and I think with, especially with snow season coming and everything, I think there should be no parking overnight in the lots, so I don't know if anybody wants to think we make that into a local law, or if you don't want to mess with it, we won't mess with it.
I would think maybe more specifically, like no parking vehicles with trailers overnight.
Well, the particular one you were talking about, is the tractor trailer that parks next to the bowling alley, is actually, after November 1st, he's already in violation because you can't park on village streets. That is the village street right there.
From 2 to 6.
Excuse me?
I think it's from 2 to 6 or something like that. It's not,
It's not all night. It's
yeah.
just 2 to 6.
2 a.m. to 6 a.m. I think is how the law is written.
Chief, you know offhand, do you?
I'm sorry.
No parking, no parking on,
village streets.
You caught me.
yeah,
1st of November to 1st of April, no parking on village streets?
Is it 1st April, April 15th?
First.
Well,
Or I
whatever.
think it's, okay, I'm thinking it's,
But I
It's
think
2 a.m.
it's
to
2 to
6 a.m.
6 a.m. I think is the time frame.
right, and I wanted to bring that up, a little long-winded tonight, but we are warning people right now. To my account, we haven't issued any parking tickets as of yet. Doing a little warning right now, but probably starting next week, we'll be issuing tickets for anybody parking on streets because the weather is turning quicker than I anticipated it to be, but I was hoping to get to the 15th, but I don't think it's gonna work that way. So probably next Monday, I'm gonna tell the guys to start issuing parking tickets, make sure the roadways are clear so our plows can get through there when it does snow.
okay.
You could just extend it, yeah, you're talking about the only lots we have are what?
We've got the lots, we have the municipal lot downtown,
Downtown and the one
the
at the pool.
the bowling alley, and
Here and the
our
pool.
lot here.
And the
Yeah, Now,
pool.
these people, tenants, they would be able to park on that?
They're not supposed to anyway, technically.
Right, they're supposed to be parking
Not supposed
on
to be parking
their
at all.
property.
Okay, so no overnight parking on village property, basically, is what we have.
Yeah. Right now, there's no provisions for that.
just on the streets. We could just do
Right, that's correct.
extend it to village property.
It's just on the roadways, right?
On the roadways,
Yeah.
right. It's always been the park, I mean, whatever you guys want to do, but yeah, the parking lots, we don't enforce overnight parking in the parking lots at this time, just on the roadways.
Well, okay.
So we need to change the local law to make it
To
state that
include
it's,
parking lots,
to-
yeah.
yep. Unless somebody comes and gets a special permit where they know they've got to be gone and they need to park there, or the bus companies that do trips up to Austin Lincoln Park, or the swimming pool parking lot, and they'll know and they'll let us know when they're coming. So, that's what I feel. I don't know if we need to go any forward to make it a local law. We'll do it next month. What's the board's,
Do we have to do a hearing first?
But it can be done before the next,
Board meeting?
on the night of,
Right.
just like we did tonight.
Okay.
With the village, bowling alley building, that's not a lot, right? That's
Yes, it is.
That's just but it's not a municipal lot,
Yes,
it is, because we own it.
Because we own the bowling alley.
and that makes it,
It makes
makes
it
it-
And then actually the lot over on the side where J.C. Penney's is not the bowling alleys anyways, that's the village's lot.
okay.
And the one on the other side over by the bank, that's now municipal parking because we own the property.
Would that get some sign put?
I think we need to regulate it somehow,
Okay,
or that
so-
just gets abused.
We'll come up with something and we'll do a public hearing next month and go from there.
The 3 lots.
Yeah, something needs to be done, but it needs a little further discussion,
Okay, well, what do you want to discuss about?
details.
Like what?
Well, we wouldn't have to do that until we'd have to have it.
Well, we kind of do, because,
Way the way it's gonna
Oh,
be
you gotta
written.
post it?
Yeah.
yeah, I have to
And that?
post it.
What do you,
Any
no,
opinion?
no overnight parking on...
Any opinion?
On village property?
Yeah,
We're
From,
ready either way, we can enforce or not enforce it, so it's-
Anytime.
at this point, it doesn't.
I mean, in the parking lots, no overnight parking period,
Yeah,
and,
no overnight
and,
parking.
Yeah.
and the, village lots, municipal lots.
'Cause I think that would help solve the problems that we're currently dealing with. So yeah, no
But,
no overnight parking in municipal lots.
Without a special permit.
Gives an option.
That way, if there's anybody that has to use it and we know about it, they had a permit. So, is that something that's doable? Chief, they
We
think
don't have
it's-
a problem with the mayor.
Okay.
What says he does, he's got a big snowplow, he just pushes them out of the way.
Well, we've had issues with the parking lot behind the laundromat. People parking their cars there overnight.
Yeah.
In the wintertime, we try to get down there and clean them out. And sometimes there's used to be a car that used to sit there for a week at a time.
Yeah, well, those would be the ones that'd be affected if we use...
That's what we want to solve the problem, so I mean, most everybody's in and out, but it's the ones that want to leave it there, and then next thing you know, you say that's snow, especially snow season.
Yeah.
Or even when you want to street sweep them in the summertime even, it's a pain, you gotta go around everything, so. We'll write up something for next month for a public hearing then, for no parking in municipal lots. And if you are, you gotta stop and get a special permit.
I'll make the motion.
For the special, or for the public hearing?
Yeah.
Public hearing. You want to second it?
Second.
2 seconds right there.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Next thing I have here is Christmas parade. That is gonna be,
What's that
we got information today on it?
Yes, it's gonna be Friday, November 29th at 7 PM. It's gonna run from the bus garage to Bridge Street to Water Street, back to Veterans Plaza.
Okay.
So I need permission to apply for the parade permit.
I make that motion.
I will second that.
Motion made second for Jody to apply for the Christmas parade permit. All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, or carried, no opposed.
And it's, just note that it's a different day.
Yeah.
It's Friday and it's
Friday.
not Saturday.
Yeah, that's really, people have been questioning.
And
Did
the big-
something happen?
Yep, and the reason why is I was told that there is something going on at the theater who
Right.
offered up
Yeah.
the building and,
Nothing bad happened, it's
No.
just a different host area, so it has to be on a different day.
right. And I think somebody said they're doing it later because there's some sporting event going on so that they can
In
be at
case
this.
the football team goes to state or something, they
Okay.
would be able to be back by that time,
And then
Right.
they can participate in the parade.
I guess.
Okay. Budget modifications.
Yes. I approve all of them.
So is that like yes as a motion? Okay.
Okay, second?
Yeah, second that.
Motion made second to do the budget modifications. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next is village election notice.
Okay, here we go. This is the first legal notice I'm going to need to post for the election. That will be March 18th. That is a change because we can't have election day on St. Patrick's Day. So election will be Wednesday, March 18th. And we have 2 seats available, and that's like Mr. Doig's seat and Mr. Sands' seat, so.
And they're available. Available.
Can I do that? Little South Bar right? Be a trustee?
So I need a motion to be able to put that in the paper.
So moved.
Motion made,
Second.
seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. HR module for self-service portal.
This module would be part of our accounting software that we're running right now. It would allow easier collection of payroll data. Right now it takes everybody, the department heads, quite a bit of time to figure out and,
It's all manual.
yes, and send it to us. So this would streamline that. So I'm just asking to spend $6,500 of my budget for this HR module.
Now, it's just an add-on to the module you already got, Jody?
Yes.
So it just blends in.
Yeah, it's the same software company.
If we're talking about, earlier we mentioned the CCA program, we need to find a way to help give our village government the tools to have streamlined services to make these things easier. I fully support this.
Sure. Saving money on person hours.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to let Jody get the HR module. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Now, we're to NICLAS. NICLAS, they came and did a presentation Tuesday? I think last Tuesday or Wednesday. And Jake and myself and Jody, and we had some people from the fire district and the town and the village of Delhi. And she put on a nice presentation, pretty much explaining what we can do to get set up to have money invested without having to put it in CDs to have penalties, and it's a better rate, and they will also do spreadsheets on all of our accounts too, which will also help the office. So I think right now this is just like an opt-in. We don't have to do it, but it's where we can get things rolling, where if we want to do this in the future, we can do it. So if we opt in now, it'll be easier to do here in a little while. We want to do the money that way.
And I believe I sent that resolution to you all, so
Yep.
if you guys are all in favor, just need a motion to pass that resolution.
It should give us a better rate of return. And the thing is, there are no penalties involved, and we don't have to use it. If we decide we want to put any money into it, just don't put any money into it.
And there's no fees either when we want to take it out, so.
Can't hurt to give it a look.
So you could,
I'll make a motion.
yeah, you don't have to put 100% of your money in. You can put part of it in, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, it's an opportunity, according to general municipal laws, for us to make some type of return and still fall within the guidelines of municipal spending.
Absolutely.
I second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried. All right. One last thing before we go to executive session. Kim Jacobs put a letter in, and they want to put up signs on the posts like they usually do for basketball and field hockey and what they've been doing. They want to do basketballs for the basketball season. And as
Excellent.
soon as it's done, they'll be taking them down. So
Make that motion.
Second.
motion made second to
I
give
love
them
that stuff.
permission to do that. All in
Thank you,
favor?
Thank you, Kim.
Aye.
Aye.
Carried. All right. We will go to, motion to go into executive session to discuss the police contract.
Let's do that.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion made second to go into executive session. Thank you all.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, yeah, no, absolutely.